Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi was born sometime around 780 AD in what is now Uzbekistan. Here's a picture of Uzbekistan in relation to the rest of Southwest Asia. Al-Khwarizmi made huge contributions to many fields, but I will focus mainly on his work in mathematics in this presentation. Al-Khwarizmi's books and treatises, namely the book On the Calculation with Hindu Numerals, popularized the use of the Hindu-Arabic number system throughout the known world. Al-Khwarizmi was one of the first scholars to use many different calculation methods, sampling from the work of scholars in Babylon, Greece, India, and Persia. Al-Khwarizmi is credited with creating the fundamental concepts of modern algebra, like canceling out numbers on both sides. The word algebra actually comes from the Arabic word for restoration, or canceling out. Al-Khwarizmi also invented a technique of adding and subtracting Hindu-Arabic numerals, which is known as algorithm. The word algorithm is derived from algorithm, and both of these words are derived from the Latin version of Al-Khwarizmi's name. Also, the Spanish and Portuguese words for digit are both derived from his name. Al-Khwarizmi later wrote a treatise on the movements of the Sun, Moon, and the 5 planets known at the time. These planets were Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, and Venus and Mercury. He was the first scholar to use trigonometry to calculate the approximate orbits of the planets. Al-Khwarizmi wrote a treatise on the Hebrew calendar and how it could be used to determine exactly when things had happened in relation to the Annu Mundi, or the Jewish year. Al-Khwarizmi was also one of the first Islamic astronomers to make his own calculations, instead of just translating or copying the work of others. The concept of sines and cosines is also attributed to Al-Khwarizmi. This concept is central to trigonometry. To summarize, Al-Khwarizmi created the basis for modern arithmetic, algebra, and trigonometry. If inventing modern mathematics wasn't enough, Al-Khwarizmi also created the most accurate map of the world that was made in his time. Although the original map was never recovered, the values of latitude and longitude of many of the cities and landmarks of his time are written in his book, titled Geography. To create his map, Al-Khwarizmi used and revised the map created by Ptolemy. While Ptolemy's estimate of the size of the Mediterranean Sea was off by 13 degrees of longitude, Al-Khwarizmi's was almost exactly right. Al-Khwarizmi was one of the first to realize that the Atlantic and Indian Oceans were open bodies of water, which means that he may have known of the other continents before anyone else. After reading many books on topics ranging from algebra to astrolabes, Al-Khwarizmi died around 850 AD. Al-Khwarizmi is not very well known in today's world, but without his discoveries we would certainly not be where we are today.